Welcome to the announcement of the official hard launch of the Avbob Dream Team. Up until now, we have been busy with the pre-launch. That started in March and it will end in August. And in September, we are going to be hard launching this business. And I'm super excited to make that announcement today. So why have we been doing this pre-launch? Well, the big thing is that we didn't want to just launch this business without knowing that everything was working perfectly. So we wanted to iron out all of our process flow issues, make sure that everything was flowing perfectly, because no business starts and everything works perfectly. We wanted to make sure everything was working great before we got going. We wanted to test the call center, make sure that that whole process was working on the call center, that they were phoning our people, that people were getting the calls, that the policies were being sold. And there have been problems in that area and we've been addressing them, and we've got some exciting changes that are coming that are going to make those processes very slick. We wanted to improve our messaging and training. We wanted to see what was working, what wasn't working, make sure that our messaging was great, that we were communicating well with our team, and of course that people were getting trained, and we've done a lot of that work. We wanted to set up and test our support structures, make sure that we could support our people properly, that we had enough people in the call center to talk to our people if there were any problems. We wanted to develop a whole WhatsApp messaging system, which we've done. That's working extremely well. We wanted to develop a WhatsApp sales process. Now that is coming. It's not finished yet, but it's on its way, and we're hoping that by launch day on the 9th of September, that is going to be in place and ready for action. We also wanted to develop proper reporting for you to make sure that every one of our network members is able to see what's going on in their business and do the things that are necessary to drive their business forward. And then we wanted to test commission payouts. Now that's obviously a key one. We wanted to make sure that everybody's banking details were captured correctly, that our processes for paying commissions all worked, that people were getting their money. And we've been doing that and it's been very successful. And we did our first payment out at the beginning of last month, and we're very happy with how those processes are working. And then we wanted to develop and test marketing collateral. So we wanted to make sure that the advertising and marketing and systems that we were giving to you actually worked to drive the sales. So what have we achieved? Well, we've got 5,000 wonderful connectors. Today is the 19th of June. So as of the 19th of June, we've got 5,000 wonderful connectors, and the business has basically reached critical mass. Now, our anticipation for this time of the business was to have 500 or 600 people. So this thing has grown beyond our wildest dreams. And the people that we've managed to attract are absolutely out of this world outstanding. I'm so impressed with the people and so impressed with what they're doing in the business. We've generated 5,600 leads. Although that looks like a little, just bear in mind, a lot of the 5,000 people who've just signed up only signed up in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So they haven't really got their head of steam up. So those leads predominantly have come from people who have been in the business a little longer. So that is actually quite a good number. We've signed 2,000 policies. Now that's not where we want to be, but just remember, we're in a pre-launch phase. So we're just testing the systems at this point. And we've already managed to sign 2,000 policies. That's pretty jolly exceptional. You guys are doing amazingly. We've established our network as a power play in the industry. People are sitting up and taking note. They've seen what our people are doing. They've seen what the Dream Team Network is capable of, and it's already generating buzz in the industry. People can't believe how well we've managed to perform, even though we're just in a pre-launch phase. And it's been very, very beneficial because we've managed to attract the top leaders in the country. And you know who you are. The top people who have built massive networks in other companies are now in Dream Team. We're very excited about what we've managed to achieve there. We've also attracted blue chip companies. Companies have looked at what we are doing and what our network is doing and what you guys are doing and have said, we want to be part of this. We want in. And they've approached us. And we're not talking about small companies. We're talking about blue chip companies. Some of the biggest companies in South Africa are approaching us to be part of this incredible business that we're creating together. And then we've generated the cash to launch our first incentive. Now, when we were getting started, one of the things I said to people is, listen, where do you want to go? And when they told me where they want to go, I said to them, well, that's on the list. And I put my arm around them and say, listen, one day we're going to be standing there and I'm going to tell you, I told you so. Well, we now have the cash flow to launch our very first international incentive. And I am super excited about where we're going. I'm super excited about the people we're going to be taking with us. And I can't wait to tell you where it is. And I'll share that with you on the 9th of September when we launch this business officially. We've solved most of our operational issues. Now, there were issues, and obviously it's a new business, there's going to be issues, but we've been working very, very hard to solve these problems. And we're now at a point where most of those problems have been ironed out, and I'm very satisfied with how things are working. We are all hands on deck to prepare for our 9 September launch. So we were holding off till we knew everything was working and that we'd have everything ready for you. But on the 9th of September, we are going to be launching this business, and we can't wait to have you there as we celebrate kicking off this amazing business, which is going to be one of South Africa's biggest networks. But more importantly, ultimately, it's going to be a big global player. You have an opportunity as one of our leaders to leverage this launch and to make it part of your success platform. So this can be a springboard for you to literally catapult your business onto a completely different level. Now, you have 2 tasks. The first of all, you need to make sure you attend this. You have to be there. I mean, it's such an epic event. It happens once in a company's lifetime. You only ever get one chance to launch the business, and you have the opportunity to be there at the inception. And then the second thing is, if you want to make a lot of money, if you want to build a massive team, you must make sure that as many of your people attend as possible. When you get an award, or when you get recognition, or when somebody in your team gets recognition, you want all of your people there to witness it. So a big part of your success will be getting your people to this launch event. You need to be a promoter, not an announcer. You know, many people go out there and they announce, okay, there's an event. But that's not good enough. You need to promote this event. You need to make sure that you are talking to people about it, telling them why it's fantastic to be there, telling them what's going to be happening there, getting them excited about it, and getting them committed and getting them to buy their ticket. Be relentless. Hey, have you bought your ticket yet? Why haven't you bought your ticket yet? What's going on? Oh, you're only getting paid on such and such a date. Fantastic. I'll call you on that date. Let's get this ticket bought for you. Make sure you are relentless in getting them to get their ticket. Tell stories that inspire your people to take action. If you've been to an event like this before, tell them how amazing it is. If you haven't been to an event like this, let them watch this video, because it is imperative that they are there. So get them to watch the video, or tell them why they should be there, or tell them how much fun it's going to be. Then help your people overcome their obstacles. Now, people are going to have obstacles. They're going to be staying in Durban and they can't get up to Joburg. Help them overcome that problem. If it means getting 5 or 6 or 7 of your people together and them sharing the bill to drive up to Joburg together, then do that. If it means hiring a taxi or a small bus or whatever to get them up, get enough people together, split the cost, get them up there. If it needs somewhere for them to stay, speak to the rest of your team. See if you can't organize for some of your other team members to put them up. Overcome their problems. Everybody's going to have a reason why they can't be there, and it's your job as a leader to make sure that you give them every reason to be there and then overcome the obstacles that are in their way. Make sure they've registered and get onto it quick, because there's limited tickets. This is the launch. This is the first big event. And you need to understand that having your people at the events is a way of ensuring your income. So events equal money. Top leaders are personally committed to being at the events. They promote the events relentlessly, and they know exactly how many of their people are attending. There's no guesswork. They know who's attending. They've got them on a list. They know who's going to be there. They've organized lifts for some people. They've organized people to come up from Durban or Cape Town or Bloemfontein or wherever they are. They've organized for them to be at the event. They know what's going on. That's what a top leader does. They help their people overcome all of their obstacles. The more people from your team who attend the launch, the more money you'll make, because you will be setting a fire under them. It provides social proof. In other words, it reinforces belief by seeing other people doing this business. When you're isolated and you are doing this all on your own, it's difficult to keep focused on how big this business is. When you get to an event like this, you suddenly see the hundreds of other people like you who are excited about this business, who are doing this business, who are making money from the business. Now you people have proof, because they can see they are not an isolated case. They're part of a bigger whole. Your network will be exposed to other successful distributors. So you'll be able to introduce them to other leaders, to other successful distributors, and that success will rub off on them. They are totally and utterly immersed in the business. They are hearing from the top people, from the top CEOs. They are hearing what's going on in our business. they receive training from the stage. So the stage is going to be offering them training. So people will be up there providing training and locking in their belief systems. They will also see people recognized. So people will be called up onto the stage and recognized for their achievements. Even though we've only been in a pre-launch phase, there are going to be people who will be recognized because they've achieved great things. They'll gain insights into our business. They'll see what we're doing, and that will change their lives. They'll meet passionate industry icons and motivated, wonderful people. And then they will meet some of South Africa's top CEOs. And if the top CEOs of South African companies think what we're doing is amazing, they will also think it's amazing. They will experience the scale of this business. When companies that are doing billions of dollars in turnover are putting their name and their brand behind the Dream Team, you know that something special is happening. And their takeaway will be that this is a massive opportunity and it's theirs for the taking. And that is the goal of this launch, to show your people what a massive opportunity they've got. This is a destination event. It's hosted by Avbob Dream Team and it's hosted in Sandton. So if you want to attend, you have to be in Sandton. There are only 700 seats available. When we booked the venue, we didn't realize we'd have 5,000 people a couple of months in. So we only got a 700-seater venue. But that means that the tickets are going to go fast. They're going to sell before you know it. So you need to make sure that you buy your ticket early and that you get every one of your people to buy the ticket early. And we'll be opening the ticket sales at the end of this month. If you're staying outside of Gauteng, make sure you get there early. The last thing you want to do is spend a whole lot of money getting to Gauteng and then arrive 4 hours late for the event. Make sure you've booked accommodation. And guys, if you don't have the money for accommodation, speak to your leaders. See if they can't get one of their people to put you up for the evening. It's one night. You come up on Saturday, you go back on Sunday. That one evening, see if you can't get somebody to help you out with accommodation. You need to be there and you need to be part of this momentous event. Remember, a launch only ever happens once for any company. You never have two launches. I promise you, if you attend this launch, you are going to go home totally on fire. And as a leader, you need to know that your people are going to go home totally on fire. And isn't that what we want? Saturday, the 9th of September is the launch date. The venue is the Hilton Hotel in Sandton. It is a brilliant hotel, beautiful venue. 700-seater venue. We're extremely excited about it. But guys, there's going to be no live broadcast from there. We're not going to have a video crew live broadcasting it. So unfortunately, if you aren't able to make it, you're going to miss out. You're going to need to be there at 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. is when we're going to start registering people at the door, making sure that they've got their tickets and obviously letting them in. And we will have an on-time draw. So all of those people who get into the venue on time will be in a lucky draw to win an amazing prize. Ticket prices are just 299 Rand, so they're inexpensive. The agenda, we are going